Hello, everybody. I am Sean Darling, your host, and back again making this cool orc here in Moho. Got the upper body, the upper part of the body mostly done. I remember telling you guys that I don't have the detail yet here, but this is where we're at on him. I think he's looking pretty good, just the same. We still need all of our shading. Been some lines here on the arms. I ended up last night finishing off this here, but I realized this part of the forearm cannot be there. So, or actually, this part of the forearm is supposed to be behind this part of the bicep at the moment. So there we go. And yeah, now I need to continue on the forearms. These wrist bracers here are actually part of the forearm. So let's go with this upper arm and go ahead and turn on or finish and add in a couple more lines here. I'm just going to go from here to add this dude to continue that on. Move these around just a hair. It's a little off, right? And now I can thin those down. So if you guys are watching, say hello. I'll just put that in the chat. Hey. Say something or ask a question. Got to see if I spelled that right. Because most of the time I type and my keyboard's at a certain level that I miss keys. Yeah, that's it. Sounded good. Okay, so now I'm going to continue with some of these internal lines. What a pain that is. Let's add a third one in here just because I know I'm going to need to bend this, move this, or whatever, and it makes it near impossible to look good. And also, yeah, to get it in the position it needs to be in, but also you can't do that or thin out the edges without at least 3 points. Unless you're only going to do one edge, which, hey, you do you. All right, there we go. There we go. Looking cool now. We do have the forearm, and that one obviously will not be seen. I don't think I have a filler on this arm, so let's go to the upper arm and check. It says we are, but it's not the right color. So it will be momentarily because we're just going to come over here, grab the skin and say, yeah. All right, so he's good to go as far as all that. So moving right along. If you guys are watching, say hello. This is for a medieval fantasy cartoon, very Dungeons and Dragons like. I can't call it that legally, but it's essentially what it is. And yeah, some brave adventurers are gonna meet up and go out and do some questing. And it doesn't have 100% name yet. And like I said, I can't call it the D&D word legally. So unless it's a fan thing, but I don't want it to be a fan thing only. It's inspired by. That's a good way to say that. I don't know if the words get away with it really should be said, but you know what I mean. I'm just going to come in here and make some of these shapes. That's essentially what it is. I'm a big fan, and I know there's lots of you all that are too, especially, I mean, if you're into comics, cartoons, sci-fi, movies, horror, you know, special effects, animation, any of the stuff that I'm into. That's probably why you're here, because I do that stuff. And that also means you probably do like D&D. I'm just going to take that wild guess. All right, so now just working out the rest of these little bits. I'm changing them a little as I go. I'm going to go ahead and carry this shape behind these other spikes here because, you know, as he turns his arm or whatever, those are going to show. and will need to be there. Oops, I came across the wrong spot here. Hang on. Didn't realize this continued down until I opened my eyeballs. It's amazing how that works. You can see if you actually look. There's a lot of people in this world that need to hear that phrase. A lot of the people in a certain state. All right, cool. Everybody's like, what does it mean by that? Okay, but that did not get an autofill like a fool. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this here, see if we can throw the fill right here. But we need to give it our fill of the particular color that makes the difference. We'll just use the middle ground color there. Middle ground. And now we will have this. So still moving along. If anybody's watching, say hello. Be nice to chat with you. I'm just making an orc. Don't mind me. And back to the forearm. Let's go ahead and create another shape here on the forearm. That's a little janky. Must have happened in along the way. That's what he said. Okay, and we'll go ahead and just get these somewhere in here. I will adjust those edges shortly. All these things that should be hard points can either get Control P or doing what I'm doing here. This one here should just get a Control P for now, and then I can widen it out slightly. Control P is a shortcut for making those sharp, which means making a peak. P-A-K. All right, so now I need to select the shape of this tooth here. It's not filled in. It should be. So we're going to do that. I'm going to have to turn my auto fill back on for some of this. And we're going to select that particular tooth color. And then we're going to move on to this tooth and get it positioned right, drawn and positioned right, I should say. This one's going to just come all the way down this way. So this one will wind up being behind the other. Yeah, cool. And we'll take it, because I did not do autofill again like a dork. And we will select, and it is turned on now, but watch, now I'm going to need the stroke. Now we're going to turn that on, and we're going to come over, though, and get the color of this dude, the main color. I like to keep the colors that were on here. I don't want to just sacrifice everything and, you know, homogenize it. That's the word I'm looking for. And so now we've got those little spikes going on. I need some internal lines. I'm going to save most of the shading till later on. I'm going to take off the auto fill here. Like I said, I was probably going to have to do. Oh yeah, and we also need to move this shape to the back. So I'm just going to go here to draw and lower the back. That'll put that right behind there. And let's get the rest of these guys going. Okay. A lot of these have broken up shapes in the sense of they do not connect with this outer line. And a lot of them do, but there are a lot that don't. So I need to differentiate, obviously, between those. I'm just going to start drawing some in. And I'm glad when they don't, because that means I can bring these across and not have a closed shape, which right now I don't want, because then I have to deal with that. And that's its own set of stuff. I'm going to kind of thin out a little of these internal lines here. Just kind of here and there as I go. I don't like them 1000% pinched off at the ends because they tend to look like, you know, digital. They are, but the traditional look is what I'm going for here. Let me undo that because I don't want to connect that to him. So I'm going to do this, and then I'll move that point over after the fact, ensuring that auto weld is not on when I do it, so that these don't snap together. You got to think about this stuff the whole way through. Otherwise, you're going to wind up spending a lot of time trying to figure out what you need to do and what you did wrong. Try to plan ahead and go, okay, certain things need to snap and certain things do not. Oh, yeah. And then other things like these didn't get peaked. So we're going to go ahead and do a couple of those real quick. I forgot. I was wondering why it was looking kind of gloopy, you know, like it was just a little sad and soft. I'm not gonna say it. There was a "that's what she said" in there, and I'm not gonna say it. I guess I just did though, didn't I? Okay, so let's get those, and those. I think that's okay for the moment. You don't want to peak everything, because then it starts to look like, you know, a geometric nightmare, whatever that means. Okay, and it's too geometric, not organic enough, is what I'm trying to say. It's better than burn out than fade away. Got something to say. All right, I think that's pretty good. So I don't want to draw hundreds of these lines, only because we don't want to have to animate all of those if it turns as much. I'm not even auto welding that because that winds up taking a lot of extra time just to turn a head or an arm or whatever. So you try to pick and choose, and here I am anyway, though, as you notice, going through here and drawing 100 lines anyway. But that's kind of my choice. That's where I'm gonna, that's the mountain I'm gonna die on, I guess. All right, let's just get a couple up here. I want some detail, but just enough that there is in that, the actual image, and not so much that I'm trying to make it look, you know, photoreal or something, because then it's just a little too much, you know. Thought I lost my monitor or something there for a minute. I keep getting these little sounds like something's unplugged and then plugged back in. Happens a lot. I thought it'd be my keyboard. It's probably my camera, to be honest with you, but no, I still see my camera up. Who knows? All right, so this shape I'm seeing either doesn't have color or it is not moved forward enough. So we're gonna draw and go raise to front, and then now we got that guy in shape. All right, let's do some more of these forearm lines. These are some pretty important ones. They kind of dictate the shape of the forearm here, the roundness, you know. We'll throw in a couple of those detail lines to break it up, but look, I'm gonna go right to here and stop because we have this little break. It keeps me from having to make this big long line that's going to equate to a closed shape, which at this point would cause me some problems. At least in my experience, that's what I have when I'm dealing with a closed shape within a shape that's the same color but is bonded to it, and I don't know, it gets the outlines get really wacky. I don't know if you guys ever have that problem. I know there's got to be something I'm doing wrong, I'm sure, but after a few years of using this program, you'd think I'd know, right? But I guess not. All right, so let's just get a couple of these guys back in here, or in here for the first time, actually. Don't know why I mean back in here. All right, so for the most part, looks good. Those did join. Those did join. They have this big dramatic flash when that happens. I don't know if that's everybody who has the program or if that's just the way mine is being handled. Alrighty, let's get these guys going. Yeah, I'm thinking about turning off my sounds, my system sounds, just so I don't get panicked every time I hear that sound. See, there it goes again. I think it's because I have a low-powered USB hub, and it tries to drop something. I hope it's not a hard drive, but you know, something keeps dropping and picking back up. So yeah, so I'm just drawing. This isn't really a tutorial, you've noticed, but just drawing. If you guys have questions and something, let me know. It's what I'm here for. You're not going to bother me. Well, I don't want to interrupt his work. Nope. Ask away. That's how you learn. And if I don't know the answer, I'll be the first to say, you got me. That's something that I've never dealt with. Or, yeah, I remember having to deal with that once. It sucked. And then I'll tell you what I did. All right, so a few more clicks and a couple of thinning out the edges here. I could turn my stroke width down overall probably, because most of these are going to be no greater than a 2 width. But I kind of just jump in and start working and then go, man, I really need to fix that so it's not just such a pain right now. And then, yeah, I'll forget. So I'm just kind of varying the width throughout a bit here, not keeping it 100% consistent all the way through, because it just tends to look better when you do that. This feels like this might be on top of that shape again, so I don't know why that would be. But let's go ahead and try to push it back. This one raised to the front again, which it now is. So yeah, something I did, you know, push that one back. All right, so far so good. These little lines, I'll worry about it later on, or not at all, depending. The shadows are going to give me most of my detail back, though. You'll see. All right, let's go to forearm number 2, being forearm R. And try to stay organized as you work. So this one's going to be in front of the torso and in front of the upper arm right. So I put that up there now and name it, obviously, in advance. And you see how I started on that little point right there? There is a reason for that. And I'm going to bring the arm in here first under that little wristband there. But there is a reason I did that, because when I close this off and I get my outlines, I want that line to happen right there and right there. For one, that way I can come in here and hide those lines exactly here. But also when it bends and stuff, the curvature and everything can be controlled right from the point that it meets that other line. And you get less like breaks, so obvious, you know, breaks. So, and then you can come in here and thin out this guy a little bit. And then on the forearm, it looks like we did not fill that to begin with, which is real smart. I'm just going to go ahead and say fill, and then we're going to have to go snag our color. Boop, done. It's just the easiest way in the world to work. Most of the time I work in a monitor, and I'm with my pen. Hey, what's up, James? Hey, I hope I'm teaching something, because I'm mostly chatting and not really talking, showing so much. I do have tutorials you've probably seen online. Hey, I'm really wanting to move back up there, man. I need to figure out how, though. Because I've got stuff I want to do, you know, work with you and work on that Western we're talking about. So I got to come up with some way to make it happen, either the landing pad or the major amount of funds or something, you know, to make that happen. So keep it in mind, you know, I'm just trying to figure out a way. I'm putting the cosmic wheels in motion and putting it out there and telling people, and, you know, definitely making that plan, because there's really nothing here. I'll be honest, there really isn't. I mean, I've tried to to work with some folks, and it was okay. I got I don't know. There was some good times and some not so good times, and then other people just interested in doing their own thing, and it's just not that town for that kind of stuff. So I need to be in the town that, you know, people want me to be in, and I want to be in, and the people I want to be around, and the people who show up and care when you don't. That'd be nice. That kind of stuff. So, and I'm looking forward to kind of getting our old momentum, if we can, going, but for new cool stuff with high quality and whatever, and mostly just the sheer enjoyment factor, obviously, of all of it. So let me do some more of this. Let's see if colors are approximately the same, I think, at least the base color. And once that is done, now I can work on the other little things. We're putting this all on the same layer. This whole forearm, the wristbands and all that is just on one single layer. And then, whoops, I put an extra point there. Not that it matters, but I don't want to connect this spike to that. Got a little wonky with my tip handling there. I've said that before. All right, let's just get this here and here. And now I will drop this whole shape behind. I'll draw, move to back. And then I'm going to, once again, forgot to add the fill. And that's okay. The color changes. Anyway, we'd have to come over here. We'd have to come over here and get that fill color either way. So I'm going to grab that. That is there. And with that, what am I doing? With this selected, why can't I think about what I'm doing here? I'm on the wrong thing. There we go. Sorry. And I'm going to grab this. Cool. So one last little dude here, the tooth on his arm, other than that tiny little one. I guess I can do that one too. It looks pretty good there. It's the randomness I like about it, actually. So there we go. And let's get that one a little sharper using our curves tool. I do really want to make a full animated experience, Oh, awesome, man. Very cool. How's everything at the casa and everyone? Is everything good to go? Good and stuff? Or, I hear only bits and pieces of everything, and I'm always curious if everything and everyone is doing well. Every person and every situation, I guess I'm trying to say. That's some real good code there for me, from me. That's what I do. Okay, let's just get that. See, that looks so much better when these are peaked. Yeah, I got some thoughts here and there about something like the Western. I mean, we had our couple of ideas that we were going to be doing, and we can work on those or something new. It doesn't matter to me. The ego has landed. Okay, so let's take this front tooth. I don't know if I have... Okay, there is color in it. There is not color in it. So we're going to go ahead and put that in here. And I am going to... Yeah, that one should be okay for now. And then now let's do some of these black lines. It's really just drawing, but one click at a time. One click at a time. I'm just going to keep this one a little separated here. There we go. Thinning out some stuff. It's kind of like watching paint dry, but like a lot more creative and cool. I hope. So a little bit thinner and a little bit thicker there. There's some cartoon, I don't know if you've seen it, I can't remember the name of it, where this sort of Cro-Magnon guys going around, and there's like a, you know, there's dinosaurs and cool stuff. That's a really cool animated little show. I like that one a lot. I just can never remember the name of it. And I don't remember if it's on Netflix, which I think it is, which I don't have right now. I ain't paying that much money for you know, to watch the same thing 20 times. Not right now, anyway. All right, a little less here. I probably could do the whole line at once. But why would I want to do something that easy? The problem is when you select the ones that are connected, it does the whole line. Right now I just want to do this one and then come back for its, you know, edges here. That kind of thing. Yeah, but I can't remember the name of that. All right, and just a few small little bits here. This top line, which I'm not going to connect. Let's do this kind of thing. Skip those lines so these don't bond. And I think I can keep this one, but I have auto weld turned off, so I'm safe either way. Just kind of knock some of these down. And there we go. I'll take care of some of those other ones in a while. I just kind of want to move forward a little bit here. This one can be a complete shape because it's going to have that color inside of it, and I did not do an autofill again. It just, you know, it's not like I'm messing up. It's just, it's funny because I forget to do it. Okay, good enough. So that's working for me. He's a cool dude. He reminds me of, what's it called? Gargoyles, for some reason. That old show. So how I'm going to do these legs is going to be interesting. I'm going to get rid of this little piece of cloth hanging here. It's going to do nothing but cause major problems. So I'm just going to come up here like so. Kind of do this kind of thing and make the leg wrap around this way. Assume some of these shapes, of course. And try to get my knee in here somehow. I need to just move back to Albuquerque. I mean, I just need to move a couple things like so. Give this a fill, but we need to use our color. So I'm going to throw that and grab this color here. So I'm keeping this shape separate from this area because it's going to be a whole separate area. You know, it's going to be the pelvis. I just said a Jamesism, I just realized. I'm going to keep this area separate because it's a whole separate. Now this area is separate because it's a whole separate area. That's funny. All right, so now we'll throw another leg over here. And I put this on the forearm layer, which I should not have done. So I'm going to just take this one and let's grab it by the... I'm going to cut the shape is what I was trying to say. And make another layer. I'm going to put that layer behind just in front of the torso. And we're going to call this leg R. Let's call this thigh R. And then we're going to paste this back on there. I'm going to make another thigh. So this will be thigh L. Yeah, I just finished programming an audio plugin today. Got it tested. It's working well. It's a filter with a modulator. Pretty cool. The ST3. I just pulled it into my DAW to check out, and it works really well. I did an entire like 3D build on it, and physically, you know, not physically in the real world, but like a 3D model build, and then I oh, look at that, I can just break these here. And then I yeah, went in and did all the functionality programming and all that, and now it works really well and is good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and just bring this up here. I'm gonna do like so, turn on auto weld. I'm gonna delete a point or two, or at least one point here, and then just grab this guy and weld it to this other one to it's gonna snap here in a minute. It's taking its sweet time though. This is where you hope you don't crash. Come on now, there it goes. That was weird. Took forever. All right, so we just move these guys more in place. I'll go back and peek those as needed. Probably this one for sure right now. Let's get this guy here more. Maybe something over here. Okay, so now we'll just come in and do our little fill on this bit. Turn that on. There we go. So there's our, mainly our thighs. We still have to do the shadows and highlights. Now this pelvis is going to consist of the belt and the little satchel bit, and I guess this hip. Of course, this satchel bit should probably be part of the leg. Then this end may be part of the belt, and then this part is going to be the pelvis. And I think I'm going to go ahead and keep this entire bit here, the cloth, as pelvis also. So to make this easier on myself, I'm going to come over here and do this in the style panel too. And I'm going to make the main color this color, because we're going to do this cloth first. And now back to our add points tool. And we need a new layer. So this is just going to be, let's do pelvis. I could break this up, but I don't think it's necessary. We're going to see very, very little from anything that is underneath it. You know what I mean? So this is all kind of wonky here. I'm just going to make this kind of come out from this. You have to have enough points to have enough resolution for the bones and animating that will happen, because this will have some bones in it, so that it waves in the wind or with any of his actions automatically, which is really nice to be able to do. Dynamics, you know, real dynamic bones in a 2D animation program is just pretty dang cool. Moho, I think they were the first ones to do that. And everybody was like, yeah, well, Moho's got bones. So everybody wanted it. But, you know. Bone rigging in Moho is what got me into it, because of working in Maya, Blender, and so forth. I'm used to the bone rigging. All right, so this just needs its fill turned on. And there we go, getting that worked out. This leg probably needs a little shape. So the thigh right could get a little bit of adjustment maybe. He looked like it was a little bit scrawny, perhaps. There we go. This will, not sure what this is going to be about, but that will be pelvis. That will cover the legs, that will, you know, and that'll be part of the belt. All that gets to be part of the belt. Cool, so we have this piece. We can go ahead and peek some of these points down here. which are not. So let's go with that. Maybe I should just, maybe I should make that a separate piece. Let's call this loincloth or whatever. It's not really a loincloth, but you know, crotch cover. It sounds better than that. Let's go ahead now and select the points we want to add our peaks to. Not all of them, just the one. Yeah, there was a time I even thought about going back and animating Witching Hour episodes just to make them again, but as cartoons. I don't even know why. I thought it'd be kind of cool though. Let's see. Let's get, come on, just this one. Be funny to kind of see a cartoon version of ourselves doing the things. James, you were in, I think, most of them. So it'd be kind of funny to see you doing most of the things, I guess, right? It's kind of funny. I think it would be hilarious. I'm just going to pull this stuff up out of the way in case there's any flashing, as it were. I think overall that's pretty good. Yeah, a couple of these extra lines aren't going to hurt anything. Let's get those in there. There. I do that accent on purpose. There. Been told I talk like a country guy. I do not. And if you say I do, then so say you. Okay, let's get that. Much better. Just checking to see what's what. Yeah, that's pretty good. A couple extra lines here. Little things coming off. One, I guess, coming down from here will be probably good, and then we'll be good as far as all that. Enter. Cool. All right, so that is that portion. Where are we at? 38 minutes. Yeah, that'd be cool. So, yeah, if you have any ideas, like, you know, hey, I've got a friend that could, you know, whatever. I'd like to get back up there. At least establish contact, a base, then move the rest of the stuff up or whatever is going to work, if you know how that could go. So need a point of contact and a plan, you know. It's been a minute since I moved, thank goodness, but I just don't want to move anymore. I'm so tired of moving. I want to get back up there and stay and just be a Albuquerquean for the next 100 years or so that I'll be alive. So there's that. Just tired of being a nomad finally. Most of the time it's been forced. I was forced to be a nomad, but you know, probably completely, of course, by my own mistakes, but hey. So above the loincloth, but below the arms, we'll add another layer here. And this is going to be belt right. We're going to call it that. Belt right. Doesn't have to call it pelvis. We're never going to see a pelvis. I'm just going to create this whole hip section here now. I'm just going to come out from behind that belt buckle in case, of course, we need to see anything behind it, we can see a little bit of this part here. And I'm trying to see where this bag is. I'm just gonna kind of make this sort of a piece that kind of does this. And let's go ahead and fill this shape for now. See what I mean? It's just like a whole thing that comes down here. So I'm just going to grab the main color right there. We'll worry about this top and bottom separating colors here shortly. And draw just a little bit of a line in here. And one here. See, I'm just stopping short so it doesn't create a whole thing. I'm going to do this bag, I think, section kind of separately so the bag can move on the leg if we want it to. Okay, so now I'm going to do a separate layer for the buckle, which I highly suggest, so you can adjust, move, twist that too. So what are you up to right now, James? Sitting around the house doing something, or what are you doing? What are you up to? Alright, so I'm gonna grab this section, turn on the fill, and then move over and grab this main buckle color. It's a good band name, Buckle Color. No, it's not. Alright, and then we're gonna grab this, do another shape right through here. You get so used to looking at these chaotic lines that I don't even almost see them in the way anymore, because you just get used to it. So, all right, so now this section here is going to get a fill, and it's going to be the belt color right here in the middle of the buckle, something like that. So we'll also have this, and then you were a good house husband. That's right. All right, so now we're going to go belt left, which will be on top of belt right, but behind the buckle. And just leave the details out for now, as I often do, talking to the government. There we go, and boom, boom, boom. Oops, let's get that. Bring it around, like so. And then we'll sample el colores, I think that's the word, from the belt over here, de colores, of the colors. Let's see, we'll grab, I don't know, a generic general area color for that. And now we'll look and see if we have any holes in any of this. So I think we're pretty good as far as coverage now. These lines obviously need some work. See, belt right. I'm gonna start moving a couple things around. Now that we have the belt buckle in there, I'm just gonna pull that over. Then we need to do obviously some details. This shape here needs to be brought to the front on the forearm right. So we're going to draw, raise to front, That way it doesn't have any lines cutting through it. And I think overall he's pretty good. We're getting there. Like I say, the shading is going to be absolutely everything. Oh, cool. Where did you go this time? I noticed, yeah, you do more hiking in a month than I have in my whole life, actually. And I used to do a lot of hiking. Lots of camping, you know. Let's see. So let's just go to the torso here. I'm going to add a little shading layer in here. And you know what? I'm going to leave it on the torso layer, I think. No, let's go ahead and make it a separate layer. And we're just going to call this one, was vector. We're going to call this neck shadow. Was a song. I'm being followed by my neck shadow. If the neck gets any bigger, I will be. Okay, and let's go ahead and draw this in. Just something that we can assume or approximate goes under the hair like this. Hippin' and a hoppin' on a neck shadow, neck shadow, neck shadow. See, beautiful song right there. Beautiful singing of it even, you know. All right, so no stroke on that one, fill on that one, but we need to go grab the neck shadow color. Neck shadow. Sounds like a character in some radio show play thing. All right, so now with this off, you can see it makes a huge difference, especially when we take this neck shadow layer and I either turn down the opacity, which I don't really want to do. I'd rather change the blending mode to a multiply and then lighten the color. So let's just go in here, say okay. And I'm going to take this color that's on the neck shadow and we are going to make a lighter version of it. That is not it. So neck shadow, what am I not selecting? There we go. No, am I? I guess I am. And we'll now make a lighter color. So I'm going to grab the, why this is turning black, I don't know. Let's go ahead and grab this and do that. Weird. Probably because of the selection there. So with this selected, let's go ahead now and yeah, that almost is the right color. Let's just lighten it a little bit. In fact, now is the time we will come in here with the opacity and knock that back some to where we get, you know, something comparable results, kind of like this, and all should be good there. Cool. You can see just that neck, I don't know, makes a huge difference. I need to put adjust my line thicknesses a little bit and stuff, but we shall see. Neck shadow. The neck shadow knows. All right, so the jaw. Now, see, you can do cool stuff as long as I'm not being stupid. Where's my jaw? And I'll try to show you. There's the head. So I probably can't do it because it's inside of the head group. But I just need to make a shadow. So I'm just going to do this again. Let's turn on the thing so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to make 4 or 5 points here. This will give me that, which I don't want the stroke of, and we do want the fill of. And then that's when we take our fill. We take our fill and we drop the that down. And we want to make this, yeah, I think that works. So we'll just pull this over where it goes. And if I ever lose my teeth. Oh, that's right, I did. Never mind. I don't know if you know that, James. I got new teeth. Got rid of the old ones. I had so many problems. They is gone. Thank goodness. I highly recommend that to anyone with any kind of teeth problems. Just get rid of them. And you will be happier. In a way, I've been told too, it's a poor compromise, but it's also way better than being in horrible death pain all the time. And getting infections and horrible things. Because you never know what other things that might have caused. In my case, you know, so I try to be better. You know what? That really does need to be on a separate layer. So I'm going to go ahead and take this piece and cut it, buddy. And I'm going to create a new layer. And this is going to be jaw or chin shadow. There's another song that came out after that one. My lip is so fat I got a chin shadow. Something like that. And we're going to paste that in there. And then now I can go ahead, not do the masking probably, but I can at least do the blending mode here to be the multiply. And then I can pull back the opacity to match like I did before of the color kind of down here. And so that works. And if it's too saturated, we can tell. I'll have to look at this later when I haven't been looking at it forever. But I think he's going to be pretty cool, man, especially when he's actually animated. So, all right, I think that is the work I'm going to do on him tonight. I'm getting a little tired. You can probably hear it in my voice. I've been working all day, trying to make money someday. But when I get it, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be back in Albuquerque. One way or the other. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to get out of here. Good to talk to you, James. Thank you, everybody else was watching. And James. And I'll talk to you guys later. All right, have a good one.